my garden rebels. So you have a hanging basket, do you? I want to show you the least amount of effort to give you the biggest effect for your hanging basket. As a matter of fact, get this point down right and it'll make a huge difference in all of your garden. It's watering. Details coming up. Quick story. I was on the phone with a good customer and they had received a hanging basket for Mother's Day. Bravo! But what they were saying, this is about a week later, and what they were saying is that their basket wasn't looking all that good. They were looking at the actual pot and said, well, you know, it only has one hole in it. And we got to talking. The reason why they thought maybe one hole wasn't sufficient was because when they watered, they didn't see any water come out. Can we save that hanging basket yet? Hold that thought, because we're going to jump to the passion basket. Knowing some basics with the passion baskets, we can better answer that question that our customer has. So on a passion basket, it's made up of 10 gallons of soil and a 3-gallon water reservoir. So that's 13 gallons of, say, mass, right? To go straight to the point, on a passion basket, we're going to water it with 5 gallons of water every other day. 5 gallons? Surely he doesn't mean 5 gallons. No, I do mean 5 gallons. He's just got to be saying that, right? 5 gallons? 5 gallons, right? Yeah, 5 gallons every other day. I like to give you a visual of what 5 gallons in a passion basket looks like. Now remember, the water will go through the soil and into the reservoir. We want to get that reservoir nice and topped off, and then it'll start watering out the excess. Question, now why don't we just water until we see the water come out? And that's because of one little danger in the middle of summer. And that is when the root ball gets so dry that it kind of constricts up a bit. And when we water, the water will hit that root ball and then go down the sides of the pot and out the hole. So even though we get a visual of plenty of water coming out, we really want to make sure we want to hydrate that entire root ball. 5 gallons. Here it goes. Gallon number 1. Gallon number 2. And gallon number 3. Gallon number 4, and we're just starting to see it come out a bit right there at the bottom. It's just starting to drip right now, and here's gallon number 5. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but there's water coming out with gallon number 5. A nice, good, steady stream of water. We don't want to be filling 5-gallon jugs. What does it look like at the end of a garden hose? Try this experiment at home. Get a 5-gallon bucket. I've got a 5-gallon jug here, and I'm going to time myself on how long it takes to fill up 5 gallons. And that gives me an idea of when I'm watering, if I have my garden hose on, how long I should be watering that. Let's give it a try just right now. Ready, get set, go. 7 seconds watering, 13 seconds watering, 28 seconds watering, 38 seconds, 39 seconds of watering. Usually 39 to 45 seconds is what an average household with the garden hose on full blast will produce 5 gallons of water. Now make sure you time your house, could be ever so slightly different. By the way, cool thing is this dram. This is an aluminum with a brass valve and a all steel construction watering head. Makes for great watering. Now you might have a smaller basket. These are what we call our basic basket. It's a 12-inch pot, which is very typical, although I've noticed some nurseries scrimping a little bit on 10-inch and even 8-inch pots. And quite all right, but we'll just have to up the frequency of watering. Now on a 12-inch hanging basket, there isn't enough soil in there to hold enough water and nutrients for a full 2 days. This is going to be a watering every single day. Now taking what we learned, for 3 gallons of water, that was roughly 23 seconds with this on full blast. Let's see how that looks like on a 12-inch hanging basket, shall we? Ready, set, go. Again, we're watching out so when that root mass really dries up in the heat of summer, it creates that gap right between the root mass and the inside of the hanging basket. So watch out, that water will hit that and go out the sides of it and then down the drain holes. And we need to rehydrate that water. And 3 gallons of water will create that time where it can get the water into that root mass every day. Now some of you might have a drip system for your hanging basket installed, and that's a great labor saving way to water your baskets. But one tip with a drip system is truly check the amount of water it's producing. So take your dripper, turn on your timer, and then set that bucket underneath to make sure you get the proper amount. Remember, 2 to 3 gallons, really 3 gallons, on a 12-inch basket. Me, just watering. Side note, you might have one of our Rebel baskets and it has a 1-gallon water reservoir, and I do recommend watering that every day as well. The difference is that it buys you time, so during the intense heat you won't see that wilt, and wilting starts to really stress out your baskets over time, especially if it happens every day. So in a nutshell, it's really about the amount of water and the frequency. So in a smaller hanging basket that you might have, up the frequency during the hot times so that instead of just once a day, you might think about twice a day. And this is anything less than a 12-inch hanging basket. And one small fear that I hear about is, am I overwatering? And it is really not possible as long as you have drainage, that one single hole. And if I may add here, that some folks think if you have a succulent basket, you don't have to water as much. And I say water this just as regular. It can tolerate dry conditions, but it will do marvelous with good watering. One other small detail about watering is, do we have to water even when it's raining? And the answer is yes, we water even during the rainy times. What happens is we don't know on the rain about amount. And during the summer months, if it rains and the next day it's just as hot, well, that's 24 hours. That's another day without water, and that could be critical. So we make sure it gets that amount every single day, even when it rains. Another question we get is it better to water in the morning time or in the afternoon or in the evening time? And it really, in the end, doesn't make difference. But the big difference is that we are consistent every day. So if you choose to water in the morning, water in the morning every day. If you choose at night, water those wonderfully at night every day. What happens is if you decide to water in the morning one day, but the next day you decide to water in the nighttime, that's an extra 12 hours of sunshine on your basket, and that might make a critical difference on wilting and burn. So try to be consistent every day on your baskets. That is just step one on really a 4-step process. But if we get that watering down, I think you'll see the biggest difference in your hanging baskets as well as your garden in general. So stay tuned for the next steps as well. That's the tips and tricks for this week. Always live your passion. It's starting to rain again.